And welcome to this brief video where I'm going to try and outline the differences between the Range Rover models. Now, I'm a big Range Rover fan and I watch a lot of content online, and sometimes when this particular question is broached, there seems to be a lot of ambiguity, a lot of uncertainty. Sometimes these questions can be seen to be almost about snobbery. You know, the Vogue is poverty spec. Hello and welcome to this brief video where I'm going to try and outline the differences between the Range Rover models. Now, I'm a big Range Rover fan and I watch a lot of content online, and sometimes when this particular question is broached, there seems to be a lot of ambiguity, a lot of uncertainty. Sometimes these questions can be seen to be almost about snobbery. You know, the Vogue is poverty spec is a common one. So I thought I'd try and disambiguate and make it as clear as possible, really, which is the best Range Rover. So hopefully towards the end of this video it'll become very clear to you that the Vogue is the ultimate Range Rover. Now, the best way to look at this question is to think about it as having different roles. So you've got the landlord, you've got the royal, you've got the farmer, and you've got the young family. That is the Range Rover Vogue. You have the Vogue SE. That is the city dweller, the Henley-on-Thames, the Goring resident. You have the Autobiography, which is really the Katie Price, the pop star, the video creator, the music video that wants a very stylized car. Then you've got the Westminster, which is an outlier. So this is how to really think about the different Range Rover specifications. So this is a Range Rover Vogue, and this is what the Queen of England drove. And there are many reasons why the Queen drove a Vogue as opposed to a Vogue SE. Similarly, there are many reasons why a farmer would drive a Vogue over a Vogue SE. Now, this is something that Land Rover themselves have managed to get 100% spot on. Okay. Many people, as I've said, will say that the Vogue is poverty spec, which is just a load of codswallop. That's just utter tripe. Okay. Now, the farmer or the landlord or the royal needs a car that they can basically take off-road and go shooting. The farmer needs to be able to put a dead pig in the back of the car, or some guinea fowl, or a sick goat. And so if you have the heated and cooled seats that you get in the Vogue SE, those seats have got lots of holes in them. And so you'll end up getting all the blood seeping into those seats, which is why these are the best seats. These full leather seats are what you want if you're a farmer. These are the seats you want if you've got a young family as well. So if you've got young children, you don't want the cooled seats because you're just going to get crumbs in there. you're going to get a load of dirt in there. And if I'm completely honest, the heated and cooled seats look much worse 10 years later. They tend not to last as long, and in fact they remind me of my cousin's wife, who used to laugh at us in the 1990s when the sort of torn jeans fashion came out. She used to just be in stitches asking if we had gone and paid full price for effectively clothing that had all these rips and tears. It just didn't make sense to her why you'd not just go and get a nice pair of jeans without any holes in them, probably for a cheaper price, than paying a premium price for ripped up jeans. So many will say that the Vogue is poverty spec, but the Vogue SE, with its heated and cooled seats and all the perforations, they invite dirt, they invite muck, the seats themselves deteriorate, they end up looking very, very tatty after 8 or so years. And so I would say that these seats are far much more durable. If you look at the seats in this Vogue, they all look more or less brand new. If they were the heated and cooled seats, they'll be looking rather tatty. So the heated and cooled seats never look great really after a long time, and if those seats break down, you really don't want to be paying to get the repairs, because they're very complicated seats, as I say, for not very much. So we then move to the Autobiography. The farmer doesn't want yellow seats or pink seats. Why would a farmer want pink seats if he's going to throw a dead pig in the car, or some grouse, or some guinea fowl, or some wood pigeon? So a lot of what people call poverty spec is actually more resilient sort of interior that's not prone to be scratched or to be defaced, where obviously if you're a very wealthy person that lives in the city, yes, you might like some red seats. I love red seats personally. I think they look great, but I don't miss them in this Vogue, because I know I've got something that's very durable. If I go on a long journey, I know that I've got some durable seats. If you need to sleep in the car, you're not going to end up wearing sort of the seats down. Again, this is where the Vogue SE kind of is less ideal. Now, the Vogue SE is perfect for the city dweller, the Henley-on-Thames, the Goring dweller, because you can have 21-inch wheels or 22-inch wheels. Usually they're diamond cut, and you know, they're very expensive. You know, they cost around sort of £6,000. If you go and try and replace Range Rover wheels directly from the manufacturer, they are reasonably expensive. You're going to be paying between, you know, £4,000 and £6,000. Why would you want those wheels on a farm? They're diamond cut, they're going to get scratched, they're going to corrode, because you're constantly in sort of ditches and water, and you know, wading through sort of the countryside. So yeah, the Vogue SE is a terrible choice for a farmer or a landlord, and it's a perfect choice for an adult family. So once the kids are, you know, 12, 13, 14, they're going to enjoy sitting at the back of the Vogue SE with the heated and cooled seats and all the entertainment at the back of the rear. What are 2-year-olds going to do with entertainment at the back? It's just not going to be anything that they're ever going to use. So the Vogue SE for me is a perfect car for the city dweller. It's a perfect car for the adult family. If you're an adult and you really, as I say, you're in your 40s or 50s and you no longer have young children, yeah, the Vogue SE is a great choice. The Autobiography is all about customization ultimately, so it's about the pop star, it's about the footballer's wife or the footballer themselves, somebody that's driving through sort of Manchester, going to Manchester United, that's going to be in sort of the papers. So yeah, they can afford to have different colour seats, different upgrades to the car. A lot of what you get with the Autobiography, frankly, is not essential, really. The Vogue SE has pretty much everything that you need. As I said, I've got the reversing camera here. You can get sort of the upgraded sort of 360 sort of degree camera, but is it that essential? It's nice to have, don't get me wrong, but the Vogue SE has everything that you need. The Westminster, again, is just, to me, probably the outlier. That presents the least amount of value, but it does have its own sort of specific wheels and style. Again, it's perfect for the city dweller. You wouldn't want to take your Westminster wheels really sort of off-road, sort of in the countryside, because they'll get scratched. So that is really the way to think about the different specifications for Range Rover. I know that I'm talking about the L322, which is this particular Range Rover, but the same can be said for the L405 as well. The Range Rover Vogue is anything and everything that a buyer would want. So don't be sort of, thinking that you're going for maybe a cheap version or a poverty spec when you're getting the Vogue, because that has pretty much everything that anybody would ever want.